It's been 20 years in the making, and tomorrow the people of the French territory of New Caledonia will vote on whether to become independent. SBS correspondent Stefan Armbruster joins us now from Noumea. Stefan, good evening to you. Is the outcome of this referendum likely to be decided on ethnic lines?
Well, Anton, there's no denying that this issue has been pushed by the Indigenous population of New Caledonia. They're known as the Kanaks, but it's not a clear racial divide that we're talking about here. There's people voting on either side of the issue, and there's a large number of Polynesians, Asian descendants, even people of Algerian descent here in this country that's about to go to the polls. It is one of the richest countries in the Pacific region, and so the Kanaks here, they are amongst the poorest of the people on this island, so it is a bit of an anomaly. At the moment there's been no campaigning going on because there's been a media blackout, but we went to one of the Kanak villages right by the capital Noumea to get an idea of what the mood is like there. Life on the fringe in New Caledonia, typical of how many of the Indigenous people known as the Kanak live. Clements calls the village of St. Louis home, where the divide between the haves and the have-nots is sharply felt.
En fait, voilà. On vante notre pays au niveau touriste, même sur la mine, tout quoi. En fait, on vit sur l'or, mais en fait, nous le peuple Kanak, on n'a rien du tout quoi.
New Caledonia is a land of contradictions. Kanaks are behind on every social indicator: education, health, employment. The contrast with the opulence of the capital Noumea is stark. The road to St. Louis from Noumea is loaded with symbolism. The community is one of the most militant. This road runs through the nearest Kanak village to the capital, Noumea. It's recently witnessed violent confrontations, but it's also seen as a road to the future. St. Louis is a major focal point for organising the independence referendum campaign, as the Kanak prepare for tomorrow's vote, and also reconciliation with the non-Indigenous migrants known as the Caldoche. A Kanak uprising in the 1980s saw the French promise to bring equality to all New Caledonians, and a referendum at the end of the 30-year process.
1988 and 2018, many things changed. Especially the Kanak and the Caldoche, the two different bodies, they work together to build this country. Many change.
But 165 years of French rule has left the Kanak with social and economic disadvantage. Researcher Pierre-Christophe Pont says that's been hard to fully turn back.
We can always judge the rebalancing process, has it gone far enough or not, but in 2018 there are still inequalities and we have to keep on working on bridging that gap.
But the efforts of the French are recognised by the Kanaks as a foundation for a future independent New Caledonia.
I think, and I hope, and I believe that in the future, so the Caldoche and the Kanak will live together in peace for the long time.
And tomorrow about 174,000 New Caledonians will go to the various polling booths here to cast their decision on whether they want to be an independent country or stay part of France. It's only the first of 3 referendums over the next 2 to 4 years. There's about 80,000 Kanaks on the roll, which gives you some indication where the poll might go, but it's actually not going to come down totally on racial lines. Now, there are UN observers here at the moment because this is on the UN decolonisation list along with 16 other countries in the world, and there are Pacific Island Forum observers here as well. And this is particularly of interest in the Pacific because Bougainville in Papua New Guinea is looking at their own independence referendum in the next 18 months. And of course, there's the lingering issue of West Papua in Indonesia, who have been demanding, the West Papuans have been demanding independence themselves, though there doesn't seem to be much movement on that issue at the moment either. Now, for the vote tomorrow and for the aftermath of whatever comes, there's hundreds of French troops being sent here to make sure that everything stays calm. We'll get a result sometime tomorrow evening around 8 o'clock, and then we'll know what happens with this country. Anton?
The eve of a big day for New Caledonia. That's SBS reporter Stefan Armbruster joining us from Noumea.